Jai Shri Krishna. Reminiscing text 12 and texts 13-15 of chapter 16, how Pariksit received the age of Kali of first creation of Srimad Bhagavatam, text 12. Bhadrashavam ketumalam cha bharatam chottaran puruna kima purushadini varshani vijitya jagruhe balim. Maharaj Pariksit then conquered all parts of the earthly planet Bhadrashva, Ketumala, Bharatvarsha, the northern Kuru, the Kima Purushas, etc., and exacted tributes from their respective rulers. Bhadrashva, it is a tract of land near Meru Parvat and it extends from Gandha Madana Parvat to the saltwater ocean. There is a description of this Varsha in the Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva 7.14 to 18. The description was narrated by Sanjay to Dhritarashtra. Maharaj Yudhishthir also conquered this Varsha and thus the province was included within the jurisdiction of his empire. Maharaj Pariksit was formerly declared to be the emperor of all lands ruled by his grandfather, but still he had to establish his supremacy while he was out of capital to exact tribute from such states. Ketu Mal. This earth planet is divided into 7 dvipas by 7 oceans and the central dvip called Jambu Dvip is divided into 9 varshas or parts by 8 huge mountains. Bharat Varsha is one of the above mentioned 9 varshas and Ketumal is also described as one of the above varshas. It is said that in Ketumal Varsha women are the most beautiful. This Varsha was conquered by Arjun also. A description of this part of the world is available in the Mahabharata, Sabha 28.6. It is said that this part of the world is situated on the western side of the Meru Parvat and the inhabitants of this province used to live up to 10,000 years. Bhishma Parva 6.31. Human beings living in this part of the globe are of golden color and the women resemble the angels of heaven. The inhabitants are free from all kinds of diseases and grief. Bharat Varsha. This part of the world is also one of the 9 Varshas of the Jambudvip. A description of Bharat Varsha is given in the Mahabharata, Bhishma Parva, chapters 9 and 10. In the center of Jambudvip is Ilavrata Varsha and south of Ilavrata Varsha is Hari Varsha. The description of these Varshas is given in the Mahabharata, Sabha Parva 28.7 to 8. Nagaramsha cha Vanamsha chaiva na disha cha Vimalodakaha Purushan deva Kalpamsha cha Narisha cha Priyadarshanah Adrushta Purvan Subhagan Sa Dadarsha Dhananjayah Sadanani cha Shubharani Narisha Chapasarasam Nibhaha. It is mentioned here that the women in both these varshas are beautiful and some of them are equal to the Apsaras or heavenly women. Uttar Kuru. According to Vedic geography, the northernmost portion of Jambudvip is called Uttar Kuru Varsha. It is surrounded by the saltwater ocean from 3 sides and divided by Shrungavan mountain from the Hiranmaya Varsha. Kim Purusha Varsha. It is stated to be situated north of the great Himalayan mountain, which is 80,000 miles in length and height and which covers 16,000 miles in width. These parts of the world were also conquered by Arjun, Sabha Parva 28.1 to 2. The Kima Purushas are descendants of a daughter of Daksha. When Maharaj Yudhishthir performed a horse sacrifice yajna, the inhabitants of these countries were also present to take part in the festival and they paid tributes to the emperor. This part of the world is called Kim Purusha Varsha or sometimes the Himalayan provinces Himavati. It is said that Shukdev Goswami was born in these Himalayan provinces and that he came to Bharat Varsha after crossing the Himalayan countries. In other once Maharaj Pariksit conquered all the world. He conquered all the continents adjoining all the seas and oceans in all directions, namely the eastern, western, northern and southern parts of the world. Texts 13-15. Tatra tatropa shrunavanaha swa purveshama mahatmanam praghiyamanam cha yashah Krishna mahatmya suchakam atmanam cha paritra tamasha vathamno astra tejasah sneham cha vrishni parthanam tesham bhaktim cha keshave tebhyah परमसंतुष्टः पृतयुज जृंभित लोचनः महाधनानि वासांसि ददौ हारान् महामनाः. Whenever the king visited, he continuously heard the glories of his great forefathers who were all devotees of the Lord and also of the glorious acts of Lord Krishna. He also heard how he himself had been protected by the Lord from the powerful heat of the weapon of Ashwatthama. People also mentioned the great affection between the descendants of Vrishni and Prutha due to the latter's great devotion to Lord Keshav. The king, being very pleased with the singers of such glories, opened his eyes in great satisfaction. Out of magnanimity, he was pleased to award them very valuable necklaces and clothing. Kings and great personalities of the state are presented with welcome addresses. This is a system from time immemorial, and Maharaj Pariksit, since he was one of the well-known emperors of the world, was also presented with addresses of welcome in all parts of the world as he visited those places. The subject matter of those welcome addresses was Krishna. Krishna means Krishna and his eternal devotees, as the king means the king and his confidential associates. Krishna and his unalloyed devotees cannot be separated, and therefore glorifying the devotee means glorifying the Lord and vice versa. Maharaj Pariksit would not have been glad to hear about the glories of his forefathers like Maharaj Yudhishthir and Arjun had they not been connected with the acts of Lord Krishna. The Lord descends specifically to deliver his devotees, Paritranaya Sadhuna. The devotees of the Lord are glorified by the presence of the Lord, because they cannot live for a moment without the presence of the Lord and his different energies. The Lord is present for the devotee by his acts and glories, and therefore Maharaj Pariksit felt the presence of the Lord when he was glorified by his acts, especially when he was saved by the Lord in the womb of his mother. The devotees of the Lord are never in danger, but in the material world, which is full of dangers at every step, the devotees are apparently placed into dangerous positions, and when they are saved by the Lord is glorified. Lord Krishna would not have been glorified as the speaker of the Bhagavad Gita had his devotees like the Pandavas not been entangled in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. All such acts of the Lord were mentioned in the addresses of welcome, and Maharaj Pariksit in full satisfaction rewarded those who presented such addresses. The difference between the presentation of welcome addresses today and in those days is that formerly the welcome addresses were presented to a person like Maharaj Pariksit. The welcome addresses are full of facts and figures, and those who present such addresses were sufficiently rewarded. Whereas in the present days, the welcome addresses are presented not always with factual statements, but to please the post holder, and they are full of flattering lies. And rarely are those who present such welcome addresses rewarded by the poor receiver. Hare Krishna.